For too long, humanity has perceived science and spirituality as two separate, even opposing domains. One was seen as the realm of objective fact, rigorous measurement, and the material world, while the other delved into subjective experience, inner knowing, and the unseen dimensions of existence. However, this division is an illusion, a construct of limited perception. In truth, both science and spirituality are quests for understanding the nature of reality, ourselves, and our place within the grand cosmic design. They are two sides of the same magnificent coin, each offering unique tools and perspectives to unlock the profound mysteries that surround and inhabit us. When we begin to see their interconnectedness, a new world of possibility opens before us. The journey to reconcile these two powerful forces is now gaining incredible momentum. Cutting-edge scientific disciplines like neuroscience, epigenetics, and quantum physics are increasingly providing empirical evidence for what mystics and spiritual traditions have taught for millennia. We are discovering that our thoughts are not merely fleeting, inconsequential events, but powerful energetic signatures that can tangibly influence our brains, our bodies, and even the world around us. This emerging understanding is not about diminishing the rigor of science or the sacredness of spiritual experience. Rather, it is about enriching both. It is about realizing that the laboratory and the meditation cushion can both be places of profound discovery and transformation. This exploration is an invitation to step beyond old paradigms that no longer serve us. It is a call to embrace a more holistic view, where the inner landscape of our consciousness is just as real and influential as the outer world. We are beginning to scientifically validate that practices designed to cultivate inner awareness, meditation, mindfulness, focused intention, are not just pleasant diversions, but potent tools for rewiring our brains, reconditioning our bodies to a new mind, and ultimately, creating a new personal reality. The power to change, to heal, and to transcend our limitations lies within this very understanding, waiting to be awakened and applied. The implications of this union are vast and deeply personal. It means that we are not simply passive observers of our lives, subject to the whims of genetics or circumstance. Instead, we are active creators, endowed with the innate ability to influence our well-being and shape our destiny. By understanding the mechanisms through which our awareness interacts with our biology and the energetic fields that surround us, we can move from a state of reaction to a state of conscious creation. This is the journey from an ordinary existence to an extraordinary one, from being defined by the past to becoming the architect of a new and vibrant future, filled with health, joy, and unlimited potential. Your brain is not a static, fixed organ destined to decline with age or remain trapped in old patterns. Instead, it is a dynamic, ever-changing marvel of biological engineering, a concept known as neuroplasticity. This means that every time you learn something new, have a new experience, or think a new thought, you are physically changing your brain's structure and function. Spiritual practices, particularly those that involve focused attention and elevated emotion, are powerful catalysts for this neural remodeling. When you consistently engage in practices that shift your awareness, you are literally forging new neural pathways, creating new connections, and strengthening circuits associated with focus, compassion, and inner peace. Consider what happens during deep meditation or moments of profound spiritual insight. These experiences often involve a shift from the analytical thinking mind to a state of pure awareness. Neurologically, this corresponds to changes in brainwave activity and the activation of specific brain regions. For instance, the prefrontal cortex, the brain's CEO responsible for executive functions like decision-making, attention, and self-awareness, often shows increased activity and coherence. Simultaneously, the amygdala, the brain's fear and anxiety center, can become less reactive. This means that with consistent practice, you are conditioning your brain to be less governed by stress and fear, and more guided by conscious intention and higher reasoning. Furthermore, spiritual practices can help to quiet the default mode network, or DMN. The DMN is a network of brain regions that is active when we are not focused on the outside world, when we are mind-wandering, daydreaming, or ruminating about the past or future. While this network has its functions, an overactive DMN is often linked to unhappiness, anxiety, and a lack of presence. Practices like mindfulness meditation train us to disengage from this habitual mental chatter and anchor our attention in the present moment. As the DMN quiets down, we experience a greater sense of calm, clarity, and connection to what is happening right now, rather than being lost in thought. The brain communicates through electrical impulses, creating rhythmic patterns known as brainwaves. Different states of consciousness are associated with different brainwave frequencies. During meditation, many individuals experience an increase in alpha brainwaves, which are linked to a state of relaxed alertness and creativity. As meditation deepens, theta brainwaves may become more prominent, associated with profound relaxation, intuition, and access to deeper states of consciousness. This shift in brainwave patterns is not just a fleeting sensation, it represents a tangible change in your brain's operating system, making it more receptive to new information, healing, and personal transformation. You are literally tuning your brain to a new frequency. The profound effects of spiritual practices like meditation and mindfulness extend far beyond the intricate neural networks of your brain. They permeate your entire biological system, influencing your very chemistry. These are not merely esoteric mental exercises. They are powerful interventions that can trigger a cascade of positive physiological changes. When you engage in these practices, you are actively participating in the regulation of your internal environment, moving your body from a state of stress and survival to one of growth and repair. This inner alchemy begins with the simple act of shifting your awareness, but its consequences ripple throughout your physical being, impacting everything from your hormones to your immune system. One of the most significant biological shifts observed with regular meditation and mindfulness is the downregulation of the body's stress response. In our fast-paced modern lives, many people exist in a chronic state of fight or flight, driven by the sympathetic nervous system. This leads to an overproduction of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which, over time, can have detrimental effects on health, contributing to inflammation, weakened immunity, and chronic disease. Spiritual practices help to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, often called the rest and digest system. This shift calms the body, lowers heart rate and blood pressure, and reduces the production of those stress hormones, creating an internal environment conducive to healing and well-being. Beyond reducing stress hormones, these practices can also lead to an increase in beneficial neurochemicals. Think of serotonin, often associated with feelings of well-being and happiness, dopamine, linked to motivation and reward, and endorphins, the body's natural pain relievers. When you consistently cultivate states of inner peace, gratitude, and elevated emotion through your spiritual practice, you are essentially teaching your body to produce more of these life-affirming chemicals. This isn't just about feeling good in the moment. It's about reconditioning your body to a new emotional baseline, one that supports sustained health and vitality. You are becoming your own inner pharmacist, dispensing the very chemistry of joy. Remarkably, the influence of awareness practices can even reach down to the level of your genes. The field of epigenetics has shown that while our DNA sequence is largely fixed, the expression of our genes, which genes are turned on or off, can be influenced by our lifestyle, environment, and even our thoughts and emotions. Studies have indicated that consistent meditation can lead to positive changes in gene expression. For example, downregulating genes associated with inflammation and upregulating genes involved in immune function and cellular repair. This suggests that by changing your inner state, you can literally change how your genetic predispositions play out, empowering you to take an active role in your long-term health and longevity. The connection between science and spirituality finds one of its most fascinating expressions in the realm of quantum physics. While it can seem complex, the core idea relevant to our discussion is surprisingly simple at the subatomic level. The fundamental building blocks of our universe behave not just as solid particles, but also as waves of probability, existing in a field of infinite potential. Furthermore, the act of observation, or focused attention, has been shown in some interpretations to influence how these possibilities collapse into a specific reality. If this is true at the quantum level, it opens up a profound understanding of how our own consciousness, our focused awareness and intention, can play a role in shaping the reality we experience. Think of your thoughts and emotions not just as abstract mental events, but as distinct energetic signatures. Every thought you think sends out a specific frequency, and every emotion you feel generates a magnetic field. The quantum field, this invisible sea of energy and information that connects everything, responds to these energetic signals. When you consistently focus your attention on a desired future, and couple that clear intention with elevated emotions like joy, gratitude, and love, the very feelings you would experience if that future were already real, you are broadcasting a powerful coherent signal into this field. You are, in essence, instructing the quantum field to organize matter in accordance with your new state of being. This understanding moves us beyond simply reacting to our current circumstances and empowers us to become deliberate creators of our lives. To harness this potential, consider integrating simple yet powerful practices into your daily routine. Begin with just 5 to 10 minutes of daily meditation, focusing on your breath and cultivating a sense of inner stillness. Throughout your day, practice mindful breathing, taking a few moments to consciously inhale and exhale, anchoring yourself in the present. Actively cultivate gratitude by mentally listing or writing down things you are thankful for, no matter how small, and most importantly, set clear, heartfelt intentions for the experiences, health, and abundance you wish to create in your life. The journey of personal transformation, where science and spirituality walk hand in hand, is one of immense hope and empowerment. It reveals that you are not limited by your past programming or your current conditions. You possess the inherent capacity to change your brain, alter your biology, and influence your reality by consciously directing your awareness. By understanding these principles and applying them with consistency and passion, you can step out of familiar patterns and create a new future, one that reflects your highest potential. You have the power to become supernatural, to live a life that transcends the ordinary, and it all begins with a conscious choice to change from within.